everybody? RMJ Movie Reviews back again. On the fly movie review of Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. Well, look here. I'm gonna make this review not too long. At this point, I'm cynical enough about movies with all these reboots and remakes and rehashes and I'm just tired of it all. I'm tired of this machine of garbage that comes out all the time. So I'm at the point now where I go to movies not expecting anything. I just go in. I'm at the point now, I hate Redbox, but I'll just rent whatever the hell is in there just because that's how much lack of faith that I have in movies now. That's how much I don't think there's any entertainment value left. I know this is a negative start to this review, but let me continue. Okay, so at this point, for the 5,000th time, I'm an 80s kid, so I used to watch the Super Friends cartoon when I was a kid. 89 Batman with Jack Nicholson and Michael Keaton was the first big screen version of Batman I ever saw. Previous to that, I had only seen the Super Friends cartoon and reruns of the Adam West pow Batman TV show. Superman for me had only been that black and white thing with George Reeves flying like this in a straight row, and the Christopher Reeve movies. Even before Superman 4, The Quest for Peace, it had just been for me 1, 2, and the Richard Pryor one, number 3. So that's pretty much what I'm conditioned to, and I'm a fan of the Nolan movies. I like all 3 of them. I like Begins, Dark Knight, and I like Dark Knight Rises. I like Man of Steel too. I really enjoyed it. Like everybody else, I agree that the third act just got kind of like, I felt so beat down by the end of the movie. I just had enough, Okay, so on to this movie. When I heard Ben Affleck was Batman, I, like everybody else, was very cynical. Ben Affleck, I was not a fan of him in the beginning of his career. His film career, as an entertainer. This is in the J-Lo days when he did Geely and all that kind of stuff. I just felt like he was forced upon us back then. But I like older Ben Affleck, Gone Baby Gone director, Argo, The Town. This Ben Affleck I like. I was one of the few people who liked Daredevil when it came out. The Ben Affleck movie in 2003. I saw it at a discount matinee, me and an old girlfriend, and I really liked the film. I really did. But I had no expectations for it. I had only previously seen Daredevil, I think, on an episode of Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends back in the day. So, I just went into this movie. I'd seen a little trailer, and I was just kind of like, meh, because, I'm a filmmaker, I'm an actor. I know enough about the publicity machine that none of this stuff impresses me anymore. So I don't get excited when I see it, I just kind of just go, well, whatever. I did get a little bit amped when I saw Spider-Man in the Civil War trailer, but, digressing. So on to Superman Dawn of Justice. I liked the film. I liked it. Did I think it was better than Batman 89? No. Did I think it was better than Batman Begins? No. And did I think it was better than Dark Knight or Dark Knight Rises? No. Did I think it was better than Man of Steel? No. It was not better than Man of Steel. And I'll explain why. Is this film, in terms of the Superman aspects, is it better than the Reeve movies? No. It definitely, let's slow down, people. It is definitely better than Quest for Peace, which I think any movie is better than Quest for Peace. Superman 3, I give it a pass just because I used to rent it from the video store, and it's goofy, dumb fun, and I love Superman 3. I don't care how goofy it is. But I like the film. I knew that just because of, kind of a lot of the negative reaction that Man of Steel got, and the fact that you got Ben Affleck playing Batman, and on top of that, you got DC just trying to catch up with Marvel. Marvel is so ahead of the game. So you got the fact that they're trying to cram this Justice League thing into one movie. They're trying to place a new Batman upon us, and you're juggling with the negativity of Man of Steel, the first movie. So there's a lot just, this movie had a lot going against it. So, being that it had so much going against it, this movie is way better than it should have been. Is it as good as it could have been? That's debatable. In my personal opinion, I think it's as good as it could have been, because this movie is pure Hollywood machine movie making at this point. So it was as good as it could have been. And I think kind of the negativity I've heard about, Superman not getting enough screen time and the plot is all over the place and it jumps around. Look, honestly, this movie is only what it could have been. It only could have turned out the way it could have turned out, because they had to please so many people. They had to prove that Ben Affleck was a good Batman. They had to make up for all the destruction at the end of Man of Steel. You gotta also put in the Justice League thing and surpass Marvel and please the fans. I mean, there was just, they had too many people they were trying to please. This is what we got, and the fact that they had to submit and appease and please and make up for and this, that, and the other, it was as good as it could have been. So seeing it from that point of view, I really liked the film. From an entertainment point of view, of just as Monty's point of view on the film, I liked it. I really liked it. I was entertained by it. What I like the fact is that this is not a children's film. It's dark. And I'm saying, I don't mean Christopher Nolan dark. This is as dark as Batman Returns, which a lot of people complained way back when, Batman Returns is too dark. I'm not the biggest Batman Returns fan. I think it's okay now. Batman 89 is a better film, but it's that dark. It's Tim Burton graphic novel Watchmen, The Crow with Brandon Lee dark. There is a rated R version out here. And a lot of the subject matter they even talk about in the film, the kind of the victims that Batman, I don't want to say victims, but the criminals that he goes after. We're not talking bank robbers. We're talking literally sexual predators. And they say that in the movie. So this is not a kid's movie. Everybody in the damn theater and their mom had all their babies, infant babies, and they had their kids, and they're making fucking noise, excuse my language, and all that kind of stuff. And what I was happy was, halfway through the movie, the sadistic side of my personality was like, ha ha, this movie's not for you. But it's not for kids. It's just not. It's on the level of The Crow with Brandon Lee and Batman Returns. It's that dark. It's really that dark, and I appreciate that. Ben Affleck is Batman, phenomenal. He's fantastic, of course, because I'm an 80s baby. Michael Keaton will always be my favorite Batman. Christian Bale was a fantastic Batman. Ben Affleck is a fantastic Batman. He definitely calls back, when he's in Bruce Wayne mode, he definitely calls back to the Michael Keaton of kind of the, not giving all these monologues about Alfred, I'm sad, like Christian Bale, and nothing against that, but he plays it a lot like Michael Keaton did. More subdued, more seething anger under the surface, more just kind of like introverted, I stayed in myself, low voice kind of performance, and I like that. And Ben Affleck really shows his acting skills in this movie. He's always been a good actor. When Ben Affleck is in a position where he has to act, he's good. When he's in like kind of that J-Lo stuff from 2000, 2001, it's kind of like, let's forget about that, Ben. But he's fantastic. This version of Batman, I like. He's definitely more akin to Michael Keaton's version, where you're not sure if this guy is riding the line between good guy and psychopath. And I like that. There's a scene where when they first introduce him in the movie, it is very much digressing. Remember like Halloween 1978 or Halloween 2 1981, where there's a lot of scenes of characters in the foreground and you see Michael Myers kind of walking in the background in a blur. That's how Batman is introduced in this movie, and it was so bad ass, and it was creepy, and it was scary. I loved it. Jeremy Irons as Alfred, fantastic. And what I love is that Batman is a drunk. He's a drinker. He's got post-traumatic stress. He has these freaky dreams. It's awesome. And Alfred is a drunk too. They just be knocking him back. Awesome. Henry Cavill is Superman. I really wish he would have had more to do in this film. But I think what he was presented, he was good. He was good. He had more to work with in Man of Steel, but I liked him. He was good. I really wish he would have been in more of it, but I really liked him. The fine chick who plays Wonder Woman. When Wonder Woman came into the movie, she doesn't have much to do. She was good. And I will say, the child in me that used to watch Super Friends and all those cartoons, when the three of them were standing up together at the end of the movie, I was geek-assing. I mean, I was like, it's Batman, it's Superman, it's Wonder Woman. It was badass. I loved it. Should Wonder Woman have actually been in this movie? Debatable. The Justice League references, Aquaman, I think the guy's name is Cyborg, and the Flash. Throwaway, not really needed, but they did it, so didn't bother me. It was okay. It was fine. Whatever. They were gonna put it there regardless, so whatever. I was fine with it. I was entertained. The big one. I think his name's Jesse Eisenberg, playing Lex Luthor. He annoyed the hell out of me. I was so annoyed with him, and I agree with a lot of reviewers on YouTube. He's very much playing Jim Carrey, the Riddler from Batman Forever. I hated his performance. I really did. Not saying it wasn't a bad performance. I just personally hated it in this movie. I'm not trying to say he should have played it like everybody else played it, which was very down and kind of dour. And this movie's very somber. It's very somber. It is not and I can see why it was released now, because it's not like a big blockbustery, hoorah, Avengers style movie. This is very somber and it's very dark. It's very in tone of like Watchmen. So I just hated him. I hated him. And the movie does do a lot of flopping around and back and forth and here and there and here and there. And at one point during the movie, I just submitted to it and I just accepted it. And I said, this is what the movie is. It's going to jump around all over the place. At some points, I couldn't follow it, and then I had to catch up. So I just said, you know what? I'm turning my brain off, and I'm just going to watch the thing. So in terms of that, I was very entertained by the film. I don't have any geek complaints. I love Psychopath Batman. I liked Henry Cavill looked good. Physically, he looked good. He was in good shape. Holly Hunter has turned into a MILF, and she's doing the Jodie Foster Silence of the Lambs accent. I loved it, and I loved her legs, too. Doomsday, totally pointless, thrown in there. Just like, why? Because we needed a big finale. Was I bored with the movie? I've heard complaints about that, too. No, I wasn't bored by it. I knew this whole movie is just a setup for Justice League. That's all it is. The issue becomes the fact that they're trying to catch up with Marvel, and Marvel had, I don't know, like 6 or 7 years. I can't remember how many years. I think Marvel had 5 years to work up to the Avengers movie. Dawn of Justice is trying to do this at one time, so that's the issue they have. And they're not going to surpass Marvel. They're not. Marvel is too far ahead of the game. They're already beat. So DC's going to be playing catch up, and it ain't going to come out good for them. But I liked the movie. I was entertained. It's not for children. I'm not going to give away a spoiler with somebody who may or may not be dead, but somebody who may or may not be dead, I was just like, why in the movie like that? Why? Like, why? I didn't like that at all. But whatever. Keep your expectations low and at zero. Don't come in as a comic book geek, which will be impossible for everybody. Don't compare. Don't think of anything. Just go in and shut your brain off and expect a very dark meeting of the two biggest superheroes of all time. Was their battle worth the wait? For me, I mean, goodness, at this point now, I've been seeing 34 years of these movies. So for me, I was fine with what I got. Some people may complain, but I was fine with what I got. So, am I looking forward to what comes later? Sure, why the hell not? They're gonna make it anyway. It doesn't matter. Are they gonna be able to appease everybody? Nope. So let's just see what they come up with next. That's my review for Batman vs Superman. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and share the video, and leave comments down below about Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. RMJ Movie Reviews. I will be back with you folks soon.